We all chase it, don't we? That dream of a stable life, comfortable, things just easy.
The goal for many.
But what if that very stability, the comfort we want so much, is actually a hidden danger? What if it's like slowly undermining our purpose?
That's a challenging thought.
Yeah. So today we're diving deep into a really thought-provoking YouTube meditation. It's from the channel Auto Do, and the title translates roughly to "A stable life can also become a power that destroys me."
Wow, quite a title.
Right. So our mission here, for you listening, is to unpack this paradox. We'll use some history, some modern examples, basically try to get our heads around how comfort might pull us off track and maybe what we can do about it.
And what's interesting is how the source immediately flips things.
Yeah,
We tend to run from crisis, right?
absolutely. Avoid it at all costs.
But this suggests crisis isn't always, just destructive. It can actually be a tool
A tool? How so?
to remove the unnecessary stuff, the excess. It refines us rather than just taking everything.
That's quite a reframing. So the source talks about this core tension. Stability is good, we all want it, but it can contain this poison called laziness.
Yeah, that's the term it uses. Laziness that undermines our reason for living.
So how does that work? How does crisis help then?
Well, the idea is that crisis, even though we fear it, can be an opportunity. It forces you to see things clearly.
Okay.
It can, as the source puts it, remove unnecessary things and excessive things. Gives us a chance to correctly see our present and kind of optimize us for a righteous and healthy life.
Optimize. Interesting. It strips away the fluff.
Exactly. Forces you back to basics, to what really matters.
Okay, this is where I found it really compelling. The source uses a historical example, the Jerusalem church.
Ah, yes, that's a key part.
Can you walk us through that? How did their crisis shape them, and then what happened when things got comfortable?
Sure. So after the huge crisis, the temple destruction in AD 70, apostles being martyred, there was this initial period where, well, the crisis forced them to focus.
Right, survival mode maybe?
In a way. But then, after Nero's persecution, which is around AD 64, 68, things calmed down for maybe 10 or 20 years. Before the next big one, under Emperor Domitian, hit around AD 93.
So a window of peace.
A window of peace. And in that time, the church kind of adapted, settled into more comfortable patterns, without that constant pressure.
And what did those comfortable patterns look like? What went wrong?
Well, the source says the sense of tension and crisis just disappeared. Life became more convenient.
Yeah.
People started focusing more on, personal desires.
Yeah.
They basically forgot their mission.
Wow. So the external pressure vanished and the internal drive faded.
It seems so. It's a stark warning, really. Comfort led them away from their purpose towards self-interest. And the source links this to scriptural warnings like do not love the world from 1 John.
Okay.
Or warnings about false teachers who might pop up when things are easy. It mentions a kind of shamanistic faith emerging, just hoping God keeps things good.
Just wanting blessings, basically.
Pretty much. And then there were Gnostic ideas floating around this split between spirit and flesh, saying the flesh is evil, which kind of let people off the hook for their actions. The source says it meant living with no burden of conscience.
That's quite alarming. So how does this connect to us now? The source draws parallels to today, especially in developed countries.
Right. Where the state often helps people, and maybe many feel they can get by, even without God. It talks about a comfortable generation.
And what does that comfort lead to, according to the source?
Well, potentially self-centeredness. People trying to fill their own bellies more, chasing luxury, boasting about status, looking down on others. It even mentions gigantic luxury buildings as high as the Tower of Babel, and fancy cars as symbols of this.
It gets quite specific with the Korean church example too, doesn't it? Contrasting the past and present.
It does. It paints a picture of the past worshiping intense, risk, sharing, versus now, with magnificent buildings, tight security, a sort of convenient faith where the core message gets lost.
Mission and evangelism become superficial events.
That's the phrasing. And God becomes less a driving force and more an object of religious speculation, meant to improve life. It's like a slow drift.
A comfortable drift away from purpose. So if that's the danger, what's the solution? The source says we should not make a stable life itself our goal.
Exactly. That's not the end game.
So what is?
The alternative proposed is to make stability a stepping stone.
A stepping stone.
For what? To accomplish our life of mission. Use the talents God gave us, become experts, maybe even reach high places. But, and this is crucial, not for personal glory.
Right, not about ego.
No, it should be a result of obedience, allowing us to have greater influence, provide specific help and sharing where it's needed. It pushes back against just climbing the ladder for its own sake.
So use the stability of the platform, whatever you have, for that mission. Never forget who you are, people of heaven, living as the aroma of Christ wherever you are, bottom, middle, or top.
Precisely.
Wow. This deep dive really does flip the script on comfort, doesn't it? Makes you wonder.
It certainly does. And it brings up a key question for all of us, I think. In wanting a blessed life, are we using our stability as that stepping stone?
Or are we letting it make us lazy, spiritually speaking?
Yeah. The source ends with a powerful prayer, asking for repentance, for greed, and a commitment to use stability and talents to help others, to flow down, as it says, to lower places according to God's will.
So the final thought for you listening: how can you transform your current stability, whatever it looks like, from a potential poison into a purposeful power for good?